Hey folks, Jackdaw here. As fans of the Dragon Age games, there's no shortage amount of memorable characters to choose between when thinking back on our adventures in the land of Fenris. And while time has passed since we set foot in each game's world for the first time, each of Dragon Age's fantastical cast of characters still have a special place in our hearts. We're each keeping our blowbos alive today through fanfiction, fan art, exciting, deep and funny conversations, and so much more. BioWare games are set apart because of their unique characters. It is the defining quality of a BioWare experience. And the next Dragon Age presents so many exciting new opportunities. A new setting, new hero, new story. Surely we are in for a refreshing adventure. Yet despite that, today I want to explore 10 characters that I would love to see again in the next Dragon Age game. Now, as a quick preface, this list excludes the Inquisitor, Solas, Varric and Dorian, because I think that it is fair to say that we will most certainly see these characters again in Dragon Age 4. Also, to qualify for my particular list, each character has had to appear in Dragon Age material prior to Tevinter Nights. I'm trying to focus on older, previously established characters with this one, not brand new ones that will most likely appear anyway because they were introduced in Tevinter Nights. So, as long as they've appeared in a book, comic or a game prior to 2020, they will qualify for my list. But before I start, I do have a quick word from today's sponsor. I'm super excited to be partnered with the Ridge wallet, a super slim, fantastic wallet built from military grade materials. As you can see, I went with the matte white aluminium wallet and I absolutely love it. It's fantastic. I've had it for a couple of weeks now and I've already taken it to New York and it was perfect. You know, I have my underground card here, I had my vaccination card for proof of ID when going to the Phantom of the Opera, and it's just a brilliant wallet. And at the back there's even a strap if you want to put cash in the form of notes here. So it really does suit all needs and purposes. And of course, there are over 30 colours and styles, including carbon fibre and burnt titanium. If you use the coupon code Jackdaw right now, you'll get a whopping 15% off your Ridge wallet order. So go ahead, your new fantastic wallet awaits, either for yourself or for your father. There is a link in the description and in the pinned comments down below, so do not miss out on this fantastic deal. With that said, in no particular order, let's explore 10 subjective characters that I need to see again in Dragon Age 4 with thorough reasoning for each. Number 10, Fenris. First appeared in Dragon Age 2, Fenris is a Tevinter elf who was purchased by Magister Denarius when he was a young boy and raised as a slave in the Imperium. Eventually, Fenris escaped his life of servitude and fled to Kirkwall. He joined with Hawke, still haunted by his past. Fenris appeared as a brooding individual with powerful lyrium-infused body tattoos. These tattoos granted him very unique abilities, like phasing through solid objects. Often, Fenris would silence a foe by phasing his hand through their body and silencing their heart in a foul, quick moment. He's quite the lethal warrior. Since Dragon Age 2's events, regardless of Hawke's choices, when faced with Magister Denarius, canonically, Fenris left Kirkwall behind, heading back to Tevinter to free slaves and hunt Magisters. He returned in the Dragon Age comics Blue Wraith and Dark Fortress, joining forces with agents of the Inquisition. Together, Fenris and these agents stopped a predatory cult from creating red lyrium warriors, utilizing the same procedure that created Fenris's tattoos in the first place. At the end of Dark Fortress, Fenris was quite content to travel with Vaya, Autumn and Francesca as they returned Sir Aaron's remains to Portsmouth for Reldon. Fenris's whereabouts since then are unknown, but we can probably just follow the blood trail of dead Magisters. With that explored, why exactly do I, in particular, want Fenris to return? Well, firstly, because of his raw strength and ability as an elite warrior. Fenris is a natural enforcer who offers many unique gameplay opportunities. He'd be a welcome return for our new heroes party. Few can rival his lyrium powers. He's incredibly distinctive and I would absolutely love to see that communicated within gameplay, especially the ripping out the hearts of your foes. Secondly, Fenris is quite relevant to the next game's story, i.e. Tevinter Imperium, Lyrium, Elves, Red Wraiths and Solas. Fenris would be a worthwhile asset helping the new hero around Tevinter or facing against assist Fenris with his lyrium powers. He could serve many purposes. Most notably though, Fenris has made a name for himself in Tevinter as the Blue Wraith, killing magisters and freeing slaves. Perhaps our new hero will recruit this Blue Wraith for their own journey. And lastly, Fenris has great potential to develop further. While his character development has already been great so far, he has still got so much more to offer. I would love to see his chemistry with characters like Dorian, i.e. a Tevinter Magister, but not your typical one. So either as a significant NPC or a party member, I hope we see Fenris again in Dragon Age 4. Number 9, Isabela. Isabela first appeared in Dragon Age Origins as a unique NPC and more promptly as a party member in Dragon Age 2. Desirable in every manner with her gorgeous looks and roguish charm, Isabela is a fierce pirate captain of the Siren's Call who prowls the waking sea. During Dragon Age 2, having stolen the Qunari's Tome of Coulson, Isabela and the pursuing Qunari were swept into a storm in which both were left shipwrecked, landing on the reefs near Kirkwall. After Isabela joined Hawk and dealt with the brute force of a Qunari conquest, canonically, Isabela teamed up with King Alistair and Varric in the 3-part comics The Silent Grove, Those Who Speak, and Until We Sleep. During this comic run, the group infiltrated the Antivan Crows, fought high-ranking members of the Qun, and killed one of Flemeth's daughters, all with the aim of locating Alistair's father, King Merrill. After the mission was complete, Isabela left the party alone on her ship. Isabela later joined back with the Raiders of the Waking Sea, apparently calling herself an admiral. She then joined the Inquisition as a field agent embarking on raids on their behalf, actually being playable in Dragon Age Inquisition's multiplayer mode. So why do I want Isabela to return? Well, firstly, because she's a freaking pirate admiral, with her own ship ready to sail our new hero across the waters of Fenris, which I think is a pretty big deal and a fantastic way she could return pretty epically. Her ship could be a new hub, and she could be our very own captain, very much like Shepard and Joker's relationship in the Mass Effect trilogy, navigating us across the seas of Fenris, taking us from Antiva to Tevinter to the coast of Ravane to Saharan to wherever this game is going to be set. Secondly, Isabela is a practical, knowledgeable rogue with plenty of experience in Northern Fenris. She'd be a worthy asset as a squad member or a liaison. She could offer plenty of advice and introduce us to powerful and well-connected people. For instance, it is said that she once travelled with a man only known as the Jackdaw. Let us meet this Jackdaw in next Dragon Age game, BioWare. Let Isabela introduce us to him and many other important people she has connected with. And lastly, Isabela can offer a wide array of unique gameplay abilities as a swashbuckling rogue class. That is, if she were to join the new heroes party. She was so fun to play as in Inquisition's multiplayer. She had a one-handed crossbow, 2 daggers, and a range of unique abilities kitted to those weapons. If something similar to that playstyle was translated into the next Dragon Age game, I would permanently have her in my party because she is honestly so freaking fun to play as, offering so many different gameplay avenues of attacks. Now, I once assumed that Isabela was depicted in Dragon Age 4 concept art. However, this piece was revealed to showcase a conceptual look at the Lords of Fortune, a new treasure hunting faction. Even so, those themes of plunging into the depths of the sea and hunting for lost treasure suits Isabela very much. I think that she would be a welcome return who would fit in perfectly. Number 8, Sten. Known solely by his rank in the Qun, Sten first appeared in Dragon Age Origins as the only Qunari who joined our hero of Ferelden. He's a hornless warrior of the Qunari people, stoic, brutal, and blunt. Sten's name literally means Infantry Platoon Commander. Before joining with the Warden in Origins, Sten's goal was to discover what the Blight is, as commanded by the Qun. After stopping the 5th Blight with the Warden, canonically Sten headed home to Saharan. After the previous Arishok was killed by Hawk in Dragon Age 2, Sten took over as the new Arishok. In the comic Dragon Age Those Who Speak, Alistair, Isabela, and Varric ran into Sten as Arishok on their quest to find King Merrill. Sten joined their quest having lost in a duel to Alistair. After he helped the party reach King Merrill, Sten's whereabouts remained a mystery, but we assume he'll have gone back to his Arishok duties on Saharan. But you never know where Sten may have ended up. So why do I want Sten to return? Well, Sten is is the current Arashok, the one in charge of controlling the military body of the Qunari known as the Antam. And at the moment, I don't know if you're aware, but the Antam are literally going to shit as they have decided to invade Eastern Tevinter and Antiva, following Tamastrum Rasan's orders. This prohibited invasion foresees the Qunari's declaration of war on the rest of Fenris. It's estimated that the Antam will crush Tevinter's opposition in the east, and everything east of Rantium will be under their control within a year, and northern Antiva as well. Sten needs to step up to his rank, pull Rasan and the Antam aside, and stop this invasion before more blood is shed. Secondly, there are many huge narrative moments that Sten could partake in. He'd be a fountain of information for our new hero, providing insights about the Qunari, the Antam's invasion, the Ben Hassrath's reports on Merrill, etc. He would be a fantastic ally if he cooperated with our new hero. He could act like Rex in Mass Effect 2, providing aid and counsel as an advisor while dealing with his own problems as a leader. Alternatively, if Sten was able to leave his post and join our new hero's party while remaining as an Arashok, he would be a formidable warrior, acting as a brutal fighter class. Who knows, maybe joining our party with a romance plotline. I'd say it's about time. Regardless, at the moment, Sten is one of the leaders of the Qunari. Surely he is an important character with ample reason to return. Number 7. Merrill. Adorable and juvenile, Merrill is a Dalish elven mage and first to the keeper of the Sabre clan. She first appeared in Dragon Age Origins as a unique NPC and more promptly as a party member in Dragon Age 2. She's a funny, smart and genuinely kind and compassionate young woman with an eager curiosity about the ancient elves, more particularly their means of transportation via Alluvians. Since the disappearance of Tamlin in Dragon Age Origins, Merrill studied Alluvians and attempted to rebuild one herself using a shard from the Alluvian that took Tamlin. During the events of Dragon Age 2, Merrill, attempting to fix her own Alluvian, turned to blood magic with the help of Audacity, a pride demon. She joined Hawke's adventure after resurrecting Flemeth at Sundermount. Throughout their travels, Merrill's use of blood magic often rivaled her against Anders, Fenris, and depending on how you played, sometimes Hawke. After Dragon Age 2, according to Varric, Merrill remained in Kirkwall. She continued looking after the city elves who were left homeless by the Mage and Templar War, protecting them from the infighting. What happened to Merrill's Alluvian was very much dependent on Hawke's choices. Merrill could have fixed the mirror only to smash it later, or she could have fixed the mirror, however it failed to function as Merrill didn't acquire the proper key to activate the Alluvian. It's worth noting that in Inquisition, an Alluvian that resembles Merrill's particular mirror can be seen in the Crossroads. In any event, it's safe to assume Merrill is still living in Kirkwall, undoubtedly messing with artifacts and magic that she doesn't fully understand. So why do I want Merrill to return? First of all, Merrill was the first elf to properly introduce the player to the tale of the Evanurus and the Dread Wolf. I think it would be so poetic for Merrill to witness the Dread Wolf now in reality, not just a fable. In complete honesty though, given Merrill's reckless nature, I could absolutely see her joining up with Solas and the Ancient Elves. Her intrigue has already led her down dark paths, with the Alluvian and blood magic. Also, she cares deeply for the Dalish elves. If she had a chance to save them, she would take it. So when I ask for Merrill to return in the future, I don't think it's what you would initially have expected. I could totally see her having a small part in Fenrir's scheme to destroy the Veil and restore the Elven times. She is fascinated with the elves that once lingered, and it's understandable why she would be. She's an elf who will be affected by Solas's plan. If you can't beat him, join him, right? And secondly, if this subversion is off the cards, Merrill could return and join our new hero's party, serving the team as a blood mage class, maybe even as an expert on the elven gods. I know for a fact that so many fans would love the blood mage class to come back. Perhaps Merrill could supply all the blood magic cravings one desires in gameplay. Her blood magic could also add many different narrative moments and perspectives, using it as an ends justify the means viewpoint. I feel like Merrill is a 50-50 character to return. She could come back in a very dramatic way, like helping Solas, or as a small NPC, maybe offering some advice, or she could just remain in Kirkwall, helping the elves and keeping herself quiet. Number 6, Sandal. Obviously, Sandal, Fenris' most iconic dwarf, needs no introduction. The man, the myth, the legend, was introduced in Dragon Age Origins as a rune savant to the hero of Ferelden, along with his foster father, Bodane Fedek. Sandal's origin has remained quite a mystery. Bodane found Sandal when he was 5 years old. He was in a chamber deep within an ancient thaig that contained a glittering wall depicting ancient tales of heroes and paragons, elves, dwarves, dragons, and other unknown creatures. Bourdain took young Sandal from the chamber and has looked after him ever since. During the Fifth Blight, Sandal and Bourdain joined the Warden's camp, offering supplies and rune enchantments for the hero's gear. At the final battle of Denerim, Sandal was witnessed covered in blood and surrounded by dead Darkspawn. When asked what happened, Sandal just said, "Enchantment?" Sandal and Bourdain appeared later in Dragon Age 2, joining Bartrand's Deep Roads expedition that was funded by Hawke. After the expedition, the pair set up in the Amel estate. At the end of Dragon Age 2, Sandal was offered a position in Orlais by Empress Selene herself. In Dragon Age Inquisition, when the Inquisitor explored the Shattered Library in the Trespasser DLC, they came across Sandal's alleged journal nearby a dead Qunari impaled with several stakes. The journey had several dates, followed by the text, "Enchantment?" How that journal got there is a complete mystery, but I wouldn't put it past Sandal. So why do I think Sandal should come back? Well, there's still the matter regarding Sandal's origin that I feel still needs to be explored. It may not make sense narratively for Dragon Age 4, but it's still a huge fan mystery that many of us want to know. The Carter believe that Sandal is a half-dwarf Idukan bastard, some say he's a bastard elven-blooded noble, and there are many fan theories about him being Shabbatal, Titanborn, Tranquil, or even the Maker himself. There's a mystery that still lingers on his identity, and I think that is sufficient enough to warrant a return. Who knows, Sandal might have the key to defeating all of our adversaries. For instance, Sandal revealed an ambiguous prophecy about one day the magic coming back, all of it. Everyone will be just like they were. The shadows will part and the skies will open wide, and when he rises, everyone will see. To me, this sounds like major foreshadowing for Dragon Age 4's narrative, but how does Sandal know this? What else does he know? Does this lad have a prophetic gift? And what other things could he foresee? I want some pie. Maybe he's more powerful than we all assumed. And secondly, we need enchantments for our new gear. Let's have Sandal equip us with Tevinter's finest items, from weapon boosts to armor buffs and so on. Sandal and Bourdain's return would add plenty of levity and humor, something I assume we're going to need a little bit of considering the plotline narrative of next Dragon Age. So let's have the two come back, offering a helping hand to our new hero and our new squad. Number 5, Flemeth/Mafal. One of my favourite characters who I would just love to see again. Flemeth, who was revealed to be Mafal, the elven allmother of justice and motherhood. Flemeth first appeared in Dragon Age Origins as the enigmatic Witch of the Wilds. She has been carrying Mafal throughout the ages, nudging history and helping Ferelden heroes achieve their destiny, always with a price to pay, like the Calenhad bloodline. Flemeth rescued the hero of Ferelden and their allies at the Battle of Ostagar, ensuring one of her daughters, who was taught the Dark Ritual, would join the Wardens against the Battle of the Archdemon, so her daughter could potentially capture the Old God's soul in the vessel of a newborn, allowing Flemeth to then retake the Old God's soul later on. Once her daughter Morrigan discovered that Flemeth's secret of effective immortality, the fact that Flemeth has survived throughout the ages for so long, extending her life through birthing many daughters and possessing them when they come of age. As soon as Morrigan discovered that, she sought to slay Flemeth. However, having saved the champion of Kirkwall from a Darkspawn attack, Flemeth outplayed her daughter and asked Hawke to take an amulet that had a piece of Flemeth inside. Once recovered at Sundermount, Flemeth was reborn. After the Inquisitor or Morrigan drank from the Well of Sorrows, Flemeth revealed herself as Mafal, claiming that she seeks to grant the Elven Goddess the justice that was denied to her. After Corypheus was defeated, Flemeth met with Fenris, the Elven God of Rebellion who created the Veil, and locked away the other gods. Flemeth sent a piece of herself into an Illuvian before Solas absorbed an unknown quantity of her power. So why should Flemeth or Mafal return? Well, I can list so many reasons why they should return. It's a topic I have talked about so much on this channel. However, I don't want to make this one an essay, so I will just point you into the right direction. If you want to hear so many reasons why I think Mafal should return, check out my video, Mafal's Vengeance, Road to Dragon Age 4. But simply put, Flemeth's entire journey has been to seek justice for Mafal's death. Throughout the ages, she has endured to ensure this scheme of vengeance will be wrought upon the Evanurus and whoever else. And so far, she's been quite successful. She's collected an Old God's soul, she's forced heroes to do her bidding, and she has equipped Solas with an unknowing power for whatever purpose. Regardless, Mafal has a reckoning that will shake the very heavens. She seeks the justice denied to her long ago. That's sufficient enough for Mafal to return in a colossal way in the next game. And that's not even mentioning her plans for the next vessel of Mafal, her connection to the Blight, more specifically the Calling, her her ties to the dwarves and the titans, etc. I could go on, but I won't. Instead, I will insist that you check out my Mafal lore video, and we can move on to the next one. Number 4, Felisan. Felisan is a powerful elven dreamer mage and an agent of Fenris who has only appeared in the book Dragon Age Masked Empire, which established many aspects of Dragon Age Inquisition's narrative, like Orlais' war against the elves and the roster of characters involved in the fight for the Orlesian throne. Felisan was described as a sarcastic and playful man, apparently in his late 30s or early 40s. While Felisan presented himself as Dalish, no Dalish clan has ever accepted him into their ranks. In fact, Felisan is an ancient elf. He often spoke of the distant past of Elvenan because he himself has lived it. During the events of Masked Empire, Felisan saved Briala, the elven spymaster who was introduced in the Wicked Eyes and Wicked Hearts questline. Having saved her, Felisan took Briala under his wing, teaching her about the ways of Fenris, applying his stories to her own life and struggles. The book followed Briala's journey in fighting for the elves' cause in Orlais and Felisan's quest to gain the passphrase that would unlock the Eluvian network for his master. At the very end of the book, huge spoilers, alone, Felisan entered the Fade and spoke with his master, none other than Solas himself. Felisan informed Solas that he was unsuccessful in retrieving the passphrase from Briala and suggested that she should be given the chance to try using these Eluvians. As Felisan told his master that Briala actually reminded him a little bit of Solas, he was struck down. Felisan's last thoughts were of Briala, alone and in search of her people. So why should Felisan return, Jack? Well, for many reasons. Felisan was an agent and a friend of Fenris. Who better to have on our new hero's side than someone who once called Solas a friend, or master, I should say. Felisan is one of the most informed, enchanting characters who could have a pivotal role in stopping Solas's plan before it is too late. The inside knowledge he has could be vital. He's an ancient elven dreamer, an incredibly powerful ally, from understanding Solas's scheme, shedding light on the destruction of the ancient elves, explaining the elven pantheon, maybe even explaining a bit about Mafal, etc. There is so much potential for Felisan. The reason I wanted to put Felisan in this list to begin with is the fact that Patrick Weeks once expressed initial interest in Felisan's potential return in an interview by Dumped, Drunk and Dalish. Patrick essentially said that by all the rules, Felisan would have been rendered tranquil and not killed. However, if there was one person currently operating in Fadis today who would be able to break that rule and flat out kill him rather than just rendering him tranquil from the Fade, it would of course be Solas. Yet behind the curtain, if BioWare decide, hey, very few people really remember Felisan, we're probably not going to bring him up again, then he would probably have just died. But BioWare could also go, you know, he would also be the perfect person to reveal this mole or to serve as an important character for this or that. And then in that case, well, we do have the way out of, yep, so maybe he's just tranquil and we've now got a potential way to reverse tranquility, so we could actually undo that anytime we need. So what it can really come down to is like, if enough people care about this, then there is a hook. If not, then the problem takes care of itself. Now, first of all, I know that there is a massive outcry for Felisan to return in Dragon Age 4. So many fans want it. If you've read Masked Empire, you've most likely fallen in love with Felisan. And secondly, Patrick themselves actually goes over a few reasons why Felisan could return as a mole, to offer information, to even reverse tranquility. It seems there's plenty of hope and potential for Felisan to return in Dragon Age 4, and I sure hope he does. Number 3, Varya. Ferelden Elven Squire Varya, pronounced Varya as confirmed by the writers Nunzio and Christina when I interviewed them, Varya first appeared in the comic Dragon Age Knight Errant. She is my favourite Dragon Age comic character. She's a lovable, smart elven spy with so much compassion for her friends. Throughout the entire comic run, Varya accompanied Sir Aaron Hawthorne as they travelled throughout Fadis. Dragon Age Knight Errant explored Varya's background as a Ferelden elf and her journey embarking on a quest for the Inquisition, chasing down a journal containing Red Lyrium secrets belonging to Prince Sebastian Vale. At the end of the comic, the book revealed that the Venatori may already possess a Red Lyrium weapon. This particular weapon was later revealed to be the Red Lyrium idol. Varya, Sir Aaron, Varric and Charter decided to follow this lead by heading to Tevinter in order to acquire the Red Lyrium idol before the Venatori got it. The second comic, Dragon Age Deception, continued Varya's narrative in the Tevinter city Ventis. Sir Aaron and Varya met con artists Olivia Pride and Calette Alex Quintara, also Olivier's Mabari Autumn, the goodest and best Mabari in Thedas today. Sorry, I don't make the rules, it's just canon. Together they planned on breaking into the Quintara estate to acquire the Red Lyrium idol that was stolen from Kirkwall. Once they broke into the estate, they found an elven agent of Merrill pretending to be Magister Quintara. This elf was named Gaius. Now, I was able to get more information out of Nunzio developers and Christina Weir when I interviewed them about Gaius, and they said that Gaius had stolen the Red Lyrium idol with the urging of Fenris. However, he recently sold the idol to Shirilis of House Daenerys in Castilium Tenebris, thinking wrongly that Shirilis was an agent of Fenris, when in fact he was not. He was just pretending to be because he knew that Gaius would believe it. In reality, Shirilis and Magister Nenelius didn't even know Fenris was a real living god going about his current scheme. At the end of the comic, Olivia Pride sacrificed herself so the others could escape the onslaught of the Qunari who decided to invade the city. Gaius was also killed by the Qunari. The gang followed their next leads, being Castilium Tenebris and House Daenerys. The third comic, Dragon Age Blue Wraith, followed Vaya, Sir Aaron, Calix, and Autumn, teaming up with Tessa and Marius, Francesca Invidus, and Fenris. The group were chasing after the Venatori, being Magister Nenelius, Magister Invidus, and Shirilis, who had recently acquired a Lyrium sarcophagus that was pretty much the same one that transformed Fenris when he was younger. The Venatori planned to subject Red Lyrium onto a user, creating a Red Lyrium imbued warrior in this sarcophagus. But they first needed to arrive at their stronghold, Castilium Tenebris. The comic ended with Francesca killing her evil Magister father, then Calix decided to leave the group, and the rest of the gang headed to Castilium Tenebris. The current final Dragon Age comic, Dragon Age Dark Fortress, ended this epic narrative of Vaya's journey. Hopefully we will get more comics in the future adding more to Vaya's character arc, but at the current moment Dark Fortress is the conclusion to the narrative that has been in the works since Knight Errant. The group finally arrived at Castilium Tenebris as the Venatori performed this Red Lyrium ritual, transforming Shirilis into a Red Lyrium imbued warrior using magic and a dragon. Shirilis also had a Red Lyrium sword made from parts of the Red Lyrium idol. At the end of the comic, Vaya committed her first kill by slicing Magister Nenelius before he killed Marius, and Sir Aaron sacrificed himself in order to kill Shirilis. Vaya said goodbye to a dying Sir Aaron, and he gave her a note to give to King Alistair that pleaded for Vaya to become a knight. With Francesca, Fenris, and Autumn, they intended on taking his remains to Ferelden for a funeral. In the very last pages of the comic, the remaining Venatori fled with the Red Lyrium idol as Solas watched over through his illuvians. And that's where the story has since been left for Vaya. So why should Vaya return? It's unlikely that BioWare would bring back such a minor character that's already got such an invested story in the comics. But I really enjoyed Vaya's story, and I think that it could make for such an exciting and interesting continuation in a game. Now, when I say minor, I am biting my tongue because in no way do I think Vaya is a minor character, but you're comparing to the game characters, and yeah, she kind of is. Vaya is already invested in many future narratives that are setting up Dragon Age 4, the Red Lyrium idol, Tevinter, the Qunari, Fenris. Legit, Vaya has been chasing the blasted Red Lyrium idol her entire freaking narrative arc so far. I think it would make so much sense if Vaya were to be the person to help you recover the idol. Also, Vaya is on her way to becoming a knight. Who the heck doesn't want to travel with the first ever elven knight in Thedas? And for a fact, I friggin' do. But I suppose, secondly, if she were to return and if she were to be a party member, which I know is a huge ask, she could easily be a stealthy rogue. She killed for the first time in Dark Fortress, and I know that she didn't do that willingly, and it was very reluctantly, but that dynamic can now be utilized in gameplay if she were to feature that largely. In any event, I am just hoping for some return with Vaya. More comics would be amazing, but I would still like a small nod to her in Dragon Age 4. That would make me extremely happy. Number 2, Volta. Shaper Volta from the Shaperite in Ozma appeared in Dragon Age Inquisition's Descent DLC. She's a field researcher who guides the Inquisitor and their team through the Deep Roads using her stone senses. The party embarked on a mission to unearth the mysterious tremors emerging from beneath, which turned out to be the legendary Titans. When the group reached the Titan's heart, they fought a massive Lyrium creature known as the Guardian, protecting the Titan's heart. Once the Guardian was defeated, Volta approached the heart and was hit by raw lyrium energy that disrupted her senses. After regaining her senses, Volta assured that she was still in control and that the rhythm had faded away, leaving only a soft song playing inside her head. The Titan recognized Volta as one of its children, connecting with her and making her, quote, pure. Therefore, she chose to stay in the wellspring. Volta asked the Inquisitor to tell the shipwright the truth, that they don't know what truly happened with her. A lonely cry was heard above the Titan caverns, but the team sent to investigate the matter reported that Volta was nowhere to be found and Ren's body had also gone missing. Even further, the very entrance to the wellspring was now concealed. Volta's personal journey was mysteriously found in Skyhold. Inside it, she wrote that upon being struck down, she fell into a warm light's embrace, as if returned to the stone. Now the blood of the Titan flows through her, and its song told her of the times before Titans fell and the dwarven race broke in two. She doesn't sleep anymore. Volta felt empowered by the gift of shaping stone and noticed that the Sharpatol love and fear her, lost and misguided as they are. They even attempted to make an offering of their armor to her, but she recalled Ren and rejected the gift. So why should Volta return? Well, Volta is currently the only known dwarf that we've met in-game that has a connection with a Titan. She currently represents the original relationship and connection between the dwarves and the Titans. This long-standing mystery, what they both used to be like when they were linked before the elves decided to fight and mine the Titans. Once linked, Volta referred to herself as pure and emitted a magical blast. She decided to stay in the Deep Roads with the Titan, and soon after that, she disappeared, and so did Ren's deceased body. There's a huge mystery that's been unearthed beneath our feet. Surely we're going to uncover more of this story. Volta could be a powerful asset against Merrill, especially if the Titans warred with the ancient elves in the past. Surely they'd be freaking pissed and would want to avenge themselves in a modern day Fenris, reconnecting with their children and fighting against the elves. And secondly, if Volta were to return in a dramatic way as a companion, she could offer a wide, unique array of abilities with whatever she's got going on with that Titan. Like, she produced a powerful blast before. What else is she capable for? Could we experience a dwarven mage in our new party? That would be pretty freaking sick. But I suppose there are many lingering questions regarding Volta's return, like what has happened to Volta since then, and what does this mean for the future? Will Volta reveal this truth to the rest of the dwarves? Will more Titans arise and reveal themselves to their children? Is this going to start a war between the elves and the Titans? Surely this incredible discovery will not just end there. The dwarves have a long-standing bond with the Titans that needs to be rekindled, and it now is starting to. I think that's sufficient enough reason for Volta to return in some capacity. And last, but certainly not least, number one, Merrill Talani. Now, if you don't know, Merrill is a magister with a unique reputation. She walks the balance of fear and respect, and few who oppose her dare to do so openly. Merrill Talani first appeared in the comics Laws Who Speak and Until We Sleep. She met Alistair, Isabela, and Varric at a ball in Cornus and helps them with their quest to locate King Marek. Maeve was gathering information on Magister Aurelian Titus, who schemed to restore Tevinter to its former glory. When the party finally reached King Marek, who was captured on a Magralin, they were all pulled into the Fade, thrust into an illusion. Varric found Merrill in the Fade, reuniting with her deceased husband, Thorold. Maeve was aware that it was all a dream, but she delighted in it anyway. After pulling themselves from the dream, Merrill and Varric liberated everybody else from their Fade illusions. Alistair was able to then kill his father, and the party then killed Titus. Years after, along with Magister Dorian Pavis, Merrill eventually formed a group called the Lucerni to restore and redeem Tevinter. They both operate this group together. And in Tevinter nights, look in the gardens, while in Menrafis, Holix was hired by none other than Dorian Pavis and Merrill Talani. The two hired Holix to hunt down a wicked, tentacled monster that lurked in the city's gardens. The creature was known as the Sekarax because it beheaded all of its victims. After defeating the beast, Holix retired back to Ravane, while Dorian and Maeve stayed in Menrafis. It's definitely safe to assume that Merrill will most likely be spending her time still in Menrafis these days, operating the Lucerni and whatever else she's getting up to in Tevinter. So why should Merrill Talani return, Jack? Well, Maeve is a fabulous, powerful mage and magister running a secret order. She is the perfect Tevinter advisor for our new hero to meet. She can help us navigate through Tevinter's society, being the most ideal person to meet while in Menrafis. plots, introducing us to powerful connections, sharing rumours, instigating questlines, and so on. I think if she were to join a new hero as well, she'd be even more ideal, offering great company, insights and knowledge, and powerful magic to our party. I think out of all of this list, Merrill is the most ideal person to return in Dragon Age 4 in a massive way, and even more so as a companion. Also, Merrill stated that she had heard a rumour about the Dalish and a Magister exiled to the Anderfels, and the ability to graft a spirit onto the flesh to restore life. But it is magic she has little knowledge of. Insights like this and many more are surely going to help us. I don't know if this particular bit is a tease or just showcasing how well connected Maeve is. With that said though, I think that she would be an excellent character to meet in Tevinter, who is going to be crucial, not just against Solas, but against the people of Tevinter, the Magisterium, and all of that. She's most certainly an interesting character, and I hope we get to experience even more of her in Dragon Age 4. But folks, that has been my list of 10 characters I want to return in Dragon Age 4 in no particular order. Let me know all of the characters you would like to see return in the future with decent reasoning for them, and I may gather your comments and create a top wish list featuring your unique ideas. But until the next one, for all your things Dragon Age 4 news, from speculation to even bits of lore, you are already in the right place. Make sure you follow me on Instagram, Facebook, and subscribe to my channel. But until the next one, I've been Jackdaw, and I should go. Whoa, 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 whoa.